Hi YouTube, it is your girl Lexi. It has been a minute. I wanted to drop a quick review on Pose. It's been a few weeks since I've done it. But tonight I am going to do this. You can see the flash from my TV. So you guys know I just watched it. I'm actually watching it for the second time. This is not going to be a reaction and review. It's going to be a peer review. And of course, I choose to make my own titles, and this title is called Transition. The reason why I'm going to call it Transition is leading up to this episode, we have seen people transition through life. We have seen family members transition to the afterlife. Being Blanca's mother who passed, and even though we did not get to meet Blanca's mother in the present, we saw glimpses of her in the past, and we also met Blanca's family, and Blanca's sister transitioned into accepting Blanca for who she was. She went from being Mateo to Blanca, so that was a transition. Another transition, obviously, is the fabulous Miss Electra Abundance, who made her full transition into what we would call womanhood by having a procedure done where she had, what do they call it? A transsexualism operation. That's the ghetto term for it. But she had a operation which made her not biologically but legally a woman. So we saw that transition. We've been seeing the kids of the house of Evangelista transition into adults and getting into adulthood. And tonight we saw the transition from pain and suffering. So the last minute of Pray Tell's boyfriend's life, or we won't say minutes, days, weeks, that we got to witness. We witnessed it, and it was sad. It was so sad because he being Constance, that's the name of Pray Tell, who's played by Billy Porter. We saw him pretty much pass. We saw life just seeping from him, and him trying to hold on and trying to stay together until he finally had that conversation with Pray Tell and kind of told him it was time to let him transition and time for him to move on and transition into a new phase of his life. So let me go ahead and walk you through the episode. It's going to be a really quick walkthrough because I really want to talk about the message in this series. So we open up the series with Angel and Stan's wife talking in a diner, and Stan's wife clearly knows that Angel is a man. She's asking her being Angel, Stan's wife is asking Angel all of the questions that a normal wife would. Did he say he loved you? Did he pay you for sex? Blah, blah, blah. She's trying to rationalize what's going on. Meanwhile, Angel is like, can he love two people? Stuff like that. And Stan's wife was very just calm. She was just very, I think she felt better knowing that it wasn't like another girl who was younger or more vivacious or had bigger tits or something like that. Sorry for being crude, but honestly, guys, as women, we know that if it's a woman, if it's another woman in a picture, we're like, oh, she's got to have this, she's got to have that. But if it's a man, you can't compete with a man. It just like a man cannot compete with a woman. Like, be 100, guys. Y'all, that transition was there. And so we see the kids at the ball, and people are over Pray Tell playing the same song, but the same song was, Pray Tell was stuck in a rut. He was like stuck. So the House of Evangelistas decides really badly to do a intervention to kind of talk to Pray Tell. And Pray Tell coming drunk, he like, y'all can't tell me nothing. You ain't walked a day, a mile, a millisecond in my shoes. It was very telling because like he was hurting, and most people are like, that don't give him a right to talk to people in any kind of way. It's not even about talking to people in any kind of way. It is about, honestly, you have to, sometimes you just gotta let people be. We can't save the world. We can't save everybody. And Pray Tell walked out, and he goes to the hospital. He tries to lay in on, hey, sorry about that, guys. Sometimes you just gotta correct a dog when he's doing the most. But anyways, so Pray Tell decides to go to the hospital trying to get somebody on his side. He goes to Constance, who's really ill at this time. He won't eat. He has thrush in the throat. So the nurse, who's played by Sandra Day, comes in, and who's a huge advocate for same sex, has been in every gay advocate rights. She's a pioneer. She plays her role, all of that good stuff. Basically, she says, well, if you want to do something about it, why don't you do this? Why don't you do something to get him out of the room? Why don't you do something for the people? So he does that, and if Billy Porter does not get an Emmy for this, or a Golden Globe, screw a nomination, if he don't win for this performance on tonight alone, because when I say he sang the house down, he sang, and I was welling up with tears, because he sang a Donny Hathaway. I mean, he literally, I have to take that breath, guys. It's not for theatrics. He literally just, in my heart, it. And then for, I believe it's BJ Rodriguez. Please don't, like, get me. Blanca sang too, and they did a duet. And I was holding back tears because I was just like, all of this talent, it just got me to thinking. Now, I'm an 80s baby. And when all of this was going on, I was still a toddler. Actually, I take that back. In 87, I was 5. If it was late 87. And in 88, I was 6. Still, I was a baby. I was still a little kid. And to know that all of this talent, and I remember these songs because I remember my mom playing these songs on the radio. So I can resonate with the songs. I can't resonate with what was going on because I lived a really sheltered life. And that scene just got to me, to see the lives, the hollowed out souls in the eyes and stuff. It really touched me. So then, let me get over that. Stan's wife takes him to a counselor / marriage, whatever, and basically tells him, I expect you to pay the bills. I'm going to get this. I want to go ahead and separate. Stan cries because he's like, I don't know whether I'm gay or not. And I'm just like, she was like, there's a part of me, even though you did this, that I still love you. Chick, here's the thing about us women. And women, whoever sees this, feel free to comment below because this is the absolute truth. We feel some kind of way and we can get through a lot. And for some reason, we can get through cheating. It's when we find out that you told the other chick that you loved her. That's the done data. Like everybody talks a good game. I look and I read and I listen on Facebook and YouTube all the time. I don't comment. I am so sick and tired of all of these melee women who are like, oh, you stupid, you this, you that. I'm not stupid. You stupid if you can't work through shit. That's one or two things. Like, come on. The deal breaker is when he's in love with somebody else, because once that other person, and we have to say person now, we can't even say woman. Once that other person has your heart, it's a done data. It's over. Like, there's no conversation. There's nothing that we could talk about. There's nothing that can be said. I've lost. At that point, I have lost. And that's what it is. Like, so take this what you will. It's the truth. And I think that's why Stan's wife was like, I'm not even going to fight, because you've got feelings. You have got feelings. Your heart is in another place. Your heart, your mind, your soul, your body, everything is with that other person. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I've lost. Somewhere along the way, I've lost. And I respected that about Stan's wife, because too many people try to show up, show out, fall out. It's not even all that. The one thing that you can never do in life is dictate somebody else's heart. That's just, you can't train it, you can't teach it, you can't fight it, there's nothing you can do. Once that heart is gone, it's gone. So I salute her on that. So then Constance does pass away, and Praytel honors his wish. Praytel says, hey, I've cried it out. I'm going to go home. I'm going to cry. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to live. How many ever days, weeks, hours, months, or years I've got left on this earth, I'm going to do what he asks, and I'm going to let my light shine, and I'm going to live. During this time, Blanca meets a guy named Darius. Darius is a hoe. He a player. We just gonna call it out. He done slept with all the queens there. And Blanca's like the last person on his list. Blanca fell for the okie doke with the moon, stars, and skies that he was like shooting. But at the end of the day, it was a done daughter, so we ain't even got to worry about that. The show closes with Angel going back to work at the Peep Show and Stan being there. And the song that's playing is this love song. It's an old rock song. That may not be the title, but it is what it is. So in the previews next week, we see some drama. We focus on Poppy, and I'm going to make a prediction. I predict that Poppy starts using hard stuff, and the reason why Poppy starts using hard stuff is when Praytel had his little blow up scene at their house during the intervention, that really got to Poppy, because I believe Poppy has AIDS, or I believe that Poppy is HIV positive, even though we saw the scene where he was coming out like, ooh, I ain't got it. The only two people that we actually saw the nurse tell that they didn't have it was Damien and his little boyfriend. We didn't see Poppy, and we saw Praytel get told that he did have it. So those are the things that we are going to see. I really feel like that's going to happen. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to share. Most important, put your differences aside. Put how you feel about things to the side and watch the show. Watch the show. It's a good series. It's not what you think. You're not seeing a bunch of penises slap each other in the face and do all that type of stuff. Like, get over it. Watch the show. Gay, straight, bi, in between, questioning yourself. Watch the show. And you'll come to love it as much as I do. So, light and love, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.